What is going on? I'm zmoT. Today is the day that is the War Factory. So let's just check and see if we do in fact have the rainmakers. Oh, thank goodness. Now, hopefully you guys do have the rainmakers available to you for the War Factory. I don't know if they're actually going to be usable or not. We'll find out in a second, but time zones and traders and when you bought them and all that sort of stuff is going to play a factor for sure. Obviously, the fact that I can use them for Imitation Game and War Factory means that as long as you guys didn't buy them all at the very onset of the trader, you should be all good in the hood. Now, I've boosted the Power Stone Tribe chance, have not boosted heavy damage. Really do wish I had that tribe right below the Spirit Dancer tribe to give us the GBE gain, but we don't have it. Let's have a look at War Factory, see what we've got given to us. Now, this looks quite reasonable for rainmakers. If you want to go right with rainmakers, you should be able to do pretty darn well, I think. What we're going to do here is I'm going to try rainmakers. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we'll give it a shot and see how it goes. We're going to use Everspark, and we're going to use some medics. We're going to do this all sorts of different ways. So, my rainmakers are low level because we're HQ 18. Obviously, it ranges based on your armory level. So I need to get rid of this grappler. Otherwise, grapplers and rainmakers are not a good combo whatsoever. I'm also going to get rid of this rocket launcher, and we're going to see if my low level medics, medics are level somewhere between 1 and level 3. Let's just quickly check that. I wonder if we can actually check the level of our rainmakers as well, just for kicks. Let's see here. So we got level 3 rainmakers, not a lot of health there, 1900 health, and we have no troop health, and we have level 2 medics. So this is gonna be probably a failure, but you know what? Worst case, you guys get to laugh, and that's all that really matters, right? So we're gonna get Everspark into here. We're gonna push the hack button. We're going to flare that rocket launcher. Did I miss the rocket launcher? I think I might have, actually. I think I did miss the rocket launcher. That's speaking of things to laugh at. So now that that's done, we're going to get rid of that rocket launcher. And so this first attack, we did something good, right? So that's all that really matters so far. Then we're going to go over here with one smoke. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we're going to actually have to flare because I screwed that up a little bit because I dropped them before the rocket launcher was gone. Always never ever drop troops until whatever you've hacked is gone. Otherwise your troops just do crazy things. Bit of a bug in that regard because once the building's gone they keep walking to it, but not a big deal. Now, I think we're going to run out of GBE here, so we're going to need to shock this laser and these lasers, and then we'll see if we have enough GBE to drop all of our rainmakers. Probably not going to have quite enough. I think we're going to have very close, but not quite enough to drop 3. We'll see if we get that. Nope. Only have the GBE to drop 2. We should be able to pick up some extra in the short term, though. So now these rainmakers are going to be crazy slow, but maybe we could speed this up by force closing or something. Mostly I'm just curious to see what's going to happen when we get into that lasers territory. Maybe I should be dropping one over here on the left just to spread them out a little bit. Let's see. We're going to drop it right about here just to get them spread out a little bit so that we can clear some extra factory crates. This is going to be a while, so I wish I could speed this up for you. There's no way to speed up our attacks, sadly. So, realistically, we could probably walk through all of this stuff. It's just a matter of getting rid of some of those lasers. Maybe none of the lasers are touching one another, so we can't get rid of 2 with GBE, sadly. I was really hoping that we could do that. I think that we can just walk up to the core. I'm very curious to see how it works once we get into range of these lasers, but that's going to take a little bit of time, sadly. Rainmakers don't shoot terribly quickly, so I will try and speed this up. On my next account, I'll try and just use warriors or something like that. I'm going to do the high level account after this. Maybe actually I'll do just a regular account, regular attack without rainmakers for those of you who don't have them, because obviously rainmakers are subject to remembering to buy them. I always forget to buy them, so I'm assuming some of you have also forgotten to buy them, which is a sad moment because you can't get those back, and the rainmakers are pretty good and pretty fun. just so slow here. Let's speed this up a little bit. I'm going to flare this laser just so we can see if our medics can actually keep up or not. Looks like maybe they can. Now, obviously, the problem with rainmakers is that they completely forget what the heck they're targeting after a little while and will just go off willy-nilly and target other things. So my medics here are having a hard time keeping up. My medics do not have a lot of health whatsoever. So, but thankfully, the rainmakers, as soon as that flare expires, they're not going to target anything else because that laser is the most damaged defense. If you were to, say, for example, flare a factory supply or the headquarters, they're just going to go off willy-nilly, just like Scorchers do. I might need to add an extra boat of medics. See, my medics are just absolutely about to get wrecked. Actually, they are wrecked. I just lost half my medics, but at least we got rid of one laser in all of that time. Rainmakers, not super fast. Let's flare this last laser in the hopes that maybe we can get one more shot off. Looks like they did, but they all missed. So rainmakers not being super duper effective or super useful, but we did manage to get rid of the grappler and one laser and a rocket launcher. So not bad. Let's mix in a couple more rainmakers, see if we can't just make our way to the core with these low-level rainmakers, and I'll see if I can't hack some things in the process. So I'm going to drop my rainmakers in a spread out sort of fashion. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to drop my medics off to the side. That way the medics hopefully don't stand right behind the rainmakers. And if they do, not the end of the world. But we should be able to do much, much better here. I'm going to shock right here because we can shock 3 lasers with 1 shock. Nice little value shock there. And now just trying to clear all of this stuff. Once these lasers are gone, we should be able to clear towards the core very, very easily. And, I mean, rainmakers, this is a great, great war factory, is for rainmakers especially, just because there's only that one grappler. We managed to get rid of that pretty quickly. Everspark is over here distracting those lasers, and her critters are keeping her alive, so medics don't need to deal with that all that often. Let's use our GBE to get rid of this laser, speeding things up, because the rainmakers just shoot so incredibly, incredibly slowly. So if you can use that GBE to speed things up so they can pick a new target, all the better. Now, I mean, we're done. This war factory is done. There's nothing else that we really need to worry about here. I'm going to use my hack, which should help keep Everspark alive. Maybe let's throw a smoke on top of her, try and get her healed up. And now all of the lasers are gone. So those of you who don't do terribly well with zookas because you end up getting zapped by lasers, we can just walk in with rifle and zooka now and clean all of this up. So rainmakers don't necessarily have to be your go-to for all of your 5 attacks on this war factory, but if you have them available, they can definitely help, especially if you've got higher level medics than I do or higher level rainmakers. These are basic, pretty low level rainmakers because my armory is not maxed. And now look at this, all of the lasers are gone. The grappler is gone, the rocket launcher is gone. We have cleaned up a lot of this, and now let's flare up and get our rainmakers moving. Rainmakers wasting time. You know what? Let's throw a hack out there as well. Now you'll notice that Everspark did not hack the building that we flared. That's a little trick that you can use with your troops as well, in that if you press the hack button after the flare, she'll target the most damaged. And so a lot of times people will say not to use flares when you have Everspark and troops, but as long as your hack comes out after the flare, you can actually do pretty good stuff. Now, should we retreat here, or I think we're just going to keep going. We'll use rainmakers. This is going to be a slower video than my typical clear for sure, because rainmakers are not super duper fast, but it's easy. I mean, I try and get the lazy way to do a war factory, and rainmakers are both fun. There's a bit of a novelty attached to them, and it's super easy. I mean, all you have to really do is drop them and have some medics with them, and this war factory should go down without a heck of a lot of difficulties. So, that grappler behind the core, not going to be an issue. So, hopefully you guys remember to buy these wonderful rainmakers. Speaking of rainmakers, it's fall. I mean, it's raining here. I'm going camping tomorrow, so hopefully that rain goes away awfully quickly. And it's also like dark. Like it was dark here at 8:30 last night, so hopefully this is just an anomaly, but it seems like summer was not really here in Canada. Let me know in the comments what your year's been like on your side, wherever you guys are sitting. But it just seems like this summer has been a bit of a... I mean, it's like highs of 18 degrees Celsius, which is not a summer temperature in August. Anyways, let's keep going. Now, let's have a look here. Should we be using rainmakers to finish this off? There is one laser behind the core, and there is one... That grappler will be an issue. So, I don't know. It's up... I'll continue to use rainmakers until we get all of this stuff clear. And then maybe we'll come in and burn that shield, because that shield will require some shocking, because otherwise that laser is going to clear our faces off. Now, I'm going to come all the way up and just skip all these extra factory supplies. You might want to do a Save the Core today on War Factory. If you've never done Save the Core, please do make sure that you include a victory lap. Victory laps are super, super important when doing Save the Core. We're just going to keep hacking things, removing buildings with Everspark. Now you'll notice she actually highlighted that mortar there for a second. Let's get one more hack out, just trying to keep Everspark alive by way of hacking, essentially, because she just keeps getting hit by mortars directly in the face. But my level 2 medics are keeping her alive somehow, some way, where the medics are hiding right in amongst those rainmakers. And now, slowly. I mean, do you guys like rainmakers? If you like this layout, please do let me know. I mean, because I don't need to use rainmakers or proto troops in future videos, but maybe you like the longer videos, maybe you like the novelty of the proto troops. I definitely enjoy dropping them and then closing the app and coming back and my map being clear, essentially. So they work very, very well for gathering intel, which is a big problem. By the way, please, Supercell, I would love if we got one intel for every unused attack. That would be so good. It would revitalize War Factory. Right now, there's no incentive to solo War Factory. Like, I used to upload videos of how to solo War Factory, and no one cared, because most people can't do those attacks, and if they can do the attacks, they don't need to be told how to do it. So, or then there's no incentive, because you have somewhere between 3 and 5. Did we have 7 attacks at one point? When War Factory first came out, I can't remember if we had 5 attacks. Maybe we had 3, I think. Anyways, not super exciting. So please, Supercell, incentivize getting War Factory down. And task forces always suck on Thursdays, because we have no intel to do the operations we want, or lower intel anyways. So would love it if War Factory gave us intel for any non-used attacks. That would be super, super useful and awesome. And we've been asking Rick and Drew and whoever was here before Rick and Drew, maybe Arlight, for all of that stuff for a long, long time. So maybe, just maybe, we'll see. Supercell, intel, War Factory, intel for warships. Just give us intel, pretty please. I mean, they did help us out. They gave us the supply chests and all of that, and I think they added the supply chest, but what is happening? Man, they shoot slowly. So at this point, I'm pretty confident that we can come in and blow this up, because we've got these mortars don't range, this shock blaster doesn't range. All we really need to worry about is that laser behind the core, and our rainmakers are doing some damage to that, so maybe we can just bark that out and then do a nice free snipe. I probably should have flared that laser, but I just don't have any GBE left. So we'll just let this run its course, and hopefully that laser goes down. But the problem is rainmakers are a little bit more accurate than grenadiers. And if you've ever used them to open maps like Red Line, where they're trying to get the shield gens, or you're trying to get the shield gens on Fang with rainmakers, you have to be really careful, because they destroy the front shield and then you have nothing but problems. So do be aware, with rainmakers you can basically screw yourself on operation attacks by using them. So need to be very, very careful. Let's retreat. We only got 20 seconds left, and they're going to shoot like twice in that time. So let's get rid of those. We'll check the health on that laser, and then we'll come back with zookas and burn this candle, as they say in Planes, Fire, and Rescue. Good show, by the way. My kids like that. Yes, I'm advocating for kids television right here, right now, on my YouTube channel. So, right now, 52,000. I cannot do 52,000 health, or 52,000 damage with my zookas, or with my GBE, I should say. So, we're not going to do that. I would have 0 GBE left, and possibly take it down. So, I would likely have somewhere in the neighborhood of, I think I can do 51,000 damage fairly consistently, but there's nothing worse than getting that laser and then having no GBE left. So we're just going to park right in here. I'm going to hit battle orders, and then we're going to shock that laser right about now and hopefully burn this entire shield. We'll see here. Should have, I think, somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 shocks, so I can't see how we wouldn't burn it, but who knows? Let's use battle orders. Probably should not have used that battle orders, as I just wasted a bunch of GBE, and as a result, it's going to be very, very, very close. As soon as those shields pop, we're in good shape, though. So that shield was somewhere in the neighborhood of 1.8 million health, I believe. One last shock, and down goes the War Factory, using a whole combo of different troops. We used some zookas, we used Everspark, we used rainmakers, we used medics. Interesting, fun stuff. Trying to mix things up. Obviously, rainmakers take a little bit of time and effort, but not a big deal. So now let's switch to my main account. I'll be back in just 2 seconds, and then we will carry on. And just like that, power of the internet and time-space continuum, we're back. Let's have a look with some fresh eyes as far as what the heck we can do here. Now, these shield gens they have about 100,000 health, but right now, on our max level account, we do have this wonderful Lifewell tribe that gives us 50% bonus GBE. So we're just going to go straight ahead and see if we can't just go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 artillery as well on top of those shield gens. And I'd really like to be able to get rid of these in one attack, but it looks like it's probably not going to happen. So we're going to have to resort to throwing some critters on there for some extra tiny bit of damage. Come on, critters, let's go. Critters not getting anything done for us, and let's retreat. So we're just going to try and do this super lazy, super easy, and we'll see how far along we get with that. So I should have checked the health on the actual headquarters itself. I don't know how much health the headquarters has. We're going to use all artillery. Artillery guarantees we're going to hit all 4. Barrage does not, as you can see by the fact that that one is still alive. Let's try a critter on top of there. Probably should have just used an artillery, but I'm just trying to save a little bit of energy. Down goes the shield, and now we still have 142 GBE. It feels like you're almost cheating with these tribes. I really do wish they would bring back the GBE gain tribe, but it looks like that's not meant to be at the moment. So we've finished 2 attacks. We've gotten rid of the shield, and that health of the actual headquarters has changed. And this is all unboosted, by the way. So let's just see how much is left. I think we can just use all GBE and no troops whatsoever on the main level account. Now, obviously, if you're boosted, you can pull this off without any difficulty, assuming you have the statue support. But I kind of assume all of my subscribers have good statue setups. If you have like 6 ice or 7 Power Stone Chance statues or something like that, please do let me know. But most of you have gotten rid of your blues and greens, or if you have blues, it's because you're pushing your leaderboards. So War Factory, probably a waste of gold for you anyways. Let's have a quick look. So we did 100,000 damage. That's not going to be enough on its own. So let's just go. We're going to have to use troops, otherwise we're just going to not have enough GBE. So I'm going to get Bullet and taunt loaded, and then we're going to do the Yellock special. For those of you who don't know Yellock, please do check him out on the YouTube. And then we're going to drop Bullet over here. We're going to drop Bullet over here, and then just zookas to farm all sorts of, what is that called? GBE and whatnot. And then we're just going to Bart all of this, keep the hack going, and, I mean, not the hack, the taunt, and then we're just going to keep Barting. Zookas are doing damage to the core. Every single power cell they destroy does damage to the core, and Bullet's taunt is going to maybe keep some of them alive for a little bit. Super, super easy mode today. No smoke, no flares, no shocks, nothing. And that should give us the ability to get the core down. Obviously, if you have medics and grenadiers, maybe a better way to do this would be to use your medics and grenadiers, but overall, not bad at all. And we're going to throw some critters on the core, and that should basically do it for attack number 4. Very, very simple, very, very easy. If you're boosted, easy way to do this War Factory for sure. Now, let's see how much health we have left on the core. Hopefully 100,000. Piece of cake. So we did have to burn some troops, but now that it's down to 100,000, we should be able to do 100,000 due to the GBE tribe. And worst case, we can always drop Bullet. But very, very easy War Factory for anyone who's a high level. I mean, 0 effort, 0 thought. Super, super easy. Use that GBE tribe to your advantage, and boom goes the dynamite. War Factory in 0 effort, 0 thought, all GBE all the time. Anyways, that's it for me. Let me know in the comments what you think about your summer and what troops you use, and if I should use rainmakers, and what your favorite something is. Anything. Just say hi and let me know. Otherwise, I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Peace!